Here we have Elfman and Drunk Diane. They are about to shoot each other under the hit location rules. Previously, Elfman made a snow globe for Drunk Diane and asked her out on a date, but she denied him, telling him that he was short and had stupid hair. Then she kicked over the snow globe. Elfman responded by knocking off her headdress and saying, "At least I have hair, you bald drunk." Being a bald drunk, Drunk Diane was hurt by this, but she had alcohol and would be fine. Elfman, however, would not be fine, as no one would sell him alcohol due to his height, though he was an adult. Now, Elfman, with a gun, has hidden outside Drunk Diane's house, holding an action to shoot her as soon as she exits her front door. Being paranoid, Drunk Diane always makes a perception check before exiting her house. Her perception check will be opposed by Elfman's untrained stealth check. Let's get down the modifiers for the untrained stealth check of Elfman. When a skill check is done untrained, it relies on the attributes linked to that skill, and is completed as an attribute check with a -4 penalty. The stealth skill is linked to reflex and int. Elfman's reflex score is 4, and his int is 3 for a 7. Then that comes with a -4 penalty. So he has a 3 roll modifier to his 2d6 roll, which must meet or beat a target number of 18 for a double attribute check. Drunk Diane is making a perception check, and she actually has the perception skill, so she's just making a 2d6 roll plus her perception skill modifier, which is 2, plus her linked attribute modifier. Perception is linked to intelligence, and her intelligence link modifier is a -1. All that alcohol is not doing anything good for her white and gray matter. And that has a target number of 7. Now we roll off. The blue dice will be Drunk Diane, the green dice will be Elfman. Okay, Elfman got a 5, plus the 3 is 8, which fails by 10. Drunk Diane got a 10, plus what is essentially 1, which is 11, and that has an MOS of 4. So Drunk Diane definitely succeeded. Drunk Diane looks through her window and sees Elfman hiding in the heavy woods, aiming at her front door, taking a hold action to shoot at her the moment she walks through that door. But she isn't going to go through it. Oh no, she's going to get her gun. Drunk Diane is going to take a final drink of alcohol, set her drink down, don her armor, and get her gun. And then instead of going out her front door, as Elfman anticipated, she is going to her roof, on top of a level 2 building, and adjacent to a level 3 building. Just assume that she was inside of her building until now. There is a level 3 building in between these two characters. This character, Diane, is on a level 2 building, so there is some cover for Diane. We're going to say she had to walk to get there, but didn't walk far enough to get a target movement modifier. And we're going to say that Elfman has been stationary since he's just been waiting. And Elfman is prone. Now we roll initiative. Alright, Drunk Diane got a 10. Elfman got a 7. Drunk Diane won initiative and will go first. She is not going to move. And she is going to fire her weapon. Range 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 meters away, since we are playing on the 2 hex per meter scale, is within short range for this weapon. Short range provides a +0. Target cover. The target is in heavy woods, which provides moderate cover and gives a -2. Attacker movement. Attacker has not moved. Target movement. Target has 6 pips up, representing 0, but the target is prone. This gives a -1. Target size 0. I believe that's it for now. Yes. Drunk Diane could choose to make an aimed shot, but she is not going to. Skill link and weapon mod is 4. So that's -3 plus 4, total roll mod of 1. 7. 1 plus 7 is 8. Target number 7, MOS of 1. Drunk Diane hit with a margin of success of 1. The base damage for her AX-22 rifle is 4 ballistic, plus the MOS of 1 divided by 4, which rounds down, so that's just 4. Now we roll on the hit location table to see where the shot went. We already did standard damage table, that was there. Now we're here at the hit locations table. We add 0 to this roll because we're attacking from the front. I hate it when that happens. We re-roll everything that falls on the floor. Re-roll time. 6. Torso. Roll 1d6. Hits the chest. AP of the weapon is 4. Elfman is wearing a suit that covers his torso. It gives him a 6 bar against ballistic. So that's going to reduce the incoming damage of 4 by the difference between the bar and the AP. So that's 2 damage going in. But we have to now consult the location effects table for the chest. We multiply that 2 damage by 1 for final damage of 2. And then we roll 1d6. 4. Dazed. From the specific wound effects table. Dazed. Character suffers 1d6 additional fatigue damage points. 3 fatigue damage points. Elfman takes 2 points of standard damage, 1 point of fatigue damage, suffers stun effects, and then he suffers 3 more points of fatigue damage. Like so. And now we must check Elfman's back. Bleeding check, he did not suffer enough damage to bleed. Armor degradation, did not suffer enough damage to destroy his armor or degrade it. Consciousness check, it's going to be 2d6 plus his will link mod of 1 minus that 1 damage penalty. We need to meet or beat a 7 to stay conscious. Nope. That's a 5. Plus what's effectively 0 is 5, which is not equal to or greater than 7. He is now unconscious. And we track ammo. And now Drunk Diane gets another shot. How is she so good at shooting while she's drunk? Should I have put some negatives in here for her being drunk? No. I think she practices drunk. That's why she's so good at shooting drunk. Okay. Back to the combat modifiers table. Target cover is still 2, range is still 0, attacker movement is still 0, target movement. We still have the -1 for prone, but now we have a +4 for the target being immobile. The target is also stunned, but I do not think that the immobile modifier and the stunned modifier should stack. Does Drunk Diane want to make an aimed shot? I think she does. She's going to make an aimed shot for the head, because this is going to be a good shot. All right, so that's, +0. Because 4 + 4 is 8, and that's -8, so total roll mod is 0. Let's see if she can hit the head. 6, 7, 8, she did it. Modified roll 8, target number 7, succeeded by 1. So that's still just 4 damage, not enough MOS to get an extra point of damage. We hit the head, so we don't need to roll here. AP versus bar, AP is 4. Elfman is wearing a helmet, which has a 5 against ballistic, so that will reduce the incoming 4 damage by 1 to do 3 damage. Now for the location effects table. Head multiplies the incoming damage by 2. So that's 6 damage going in, and roll 1d6. 5. Deafened. I'm going to have to look up what deafened does. Oh, it's right here. Character suffers critical damage to ear equal to level 3 poor hearing. Okay. I think that provides a penalty to initiative rolls. I'll have to check that. I'm going to make a note that this character is deafened. And a note he got hit in the head. There we go. Track ammo for Diane. Okay, now for damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Point of fatigue. Note: under the hit location rules, the standard damage penalties, but not the fatigue damage penalties, only apply to consciousness, knockdown, and healing checks, as said penalties are replaced by the penalties from the location effects table. Okay, now to check the back. There was enough damage for a bleeding check, so Elfman needs a bleeding check. You make a bleeding check whenever the character suffers standard damage greater than their bod score divided by 2. Elfman has a bod score of 6. Half of that is 3. He took 6 damage, which is greater than 3, so unmodified bod attribute check. 3 plus his bod score of 6 is 9. That does not meet or beat the target number of 12. This character is bleeding. Write a B to remind myself. Armor degradation. If you receive standard damage equal to or greater than 5 in one attack, the armor degrades. He got hit in the head, which has a helmet on, so all the bar values for the helmet decreased by 1, and you can just write a -1 to remind yourself. Or you can pull this out and just write it down again. What was a 4 becomes a 3. What was a 5 becomes a 4, and a 2. Consciousness check. We don't need to make that because he's already unconscious. Knockdown check, that only applies to melee attacks. Alright, that's it. Note: it is now Elfman's turn, but he can't do anything while unconscious, so his turn is now over. That is the action phase. Now on to the end phase, where we track continuous damage, which does not cause stun effects, but does cause consciousness checks. like bleeding. This character's bleeding, so he suffers 1 point of damage per turn. And that causes 1 point of fatigue damage. And that's the round. I need to check what deafen does. Okay, a deafen character suffers the poor hearing trait equal to -3. A character afflicted with a -3 TP poor hearing trait suffers a -3 roll modifier when attempting to hear sounds using his perception skill, as well as a -2 modifier to his initiative roll. I'm going to make a note saying -2 for Inish. And now it's the initiative phase. All right, there's a -2 there, so that becomes a 1. Drunk Diane wins initiative. And she can feel free to just finish him off because she's defending her castle. She's the one being attacked. So range is still short, which is 0. Target cover, -2. Hasn't moved. Target movement, -1 for prone, and then +4 for immobile. Target size is 0. I think that's it. Unless he wants to make another aimed shot. I don't think she needs to. All right, so that's 8 minus 3. It's 5. 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. Target number 7. MOS 5. Doing an extra point of damage. Roll for hit location. 7. Legs. Roll 1d6. 3 or less. Left legs. Hit him in the left leg. AP versus bar. 4 AP. 6. So that 5 gets reduced by 2. Location effects table. We multiply this by 0.75, which is this, yeah. That's 2 and a fraction, which we round up to 3. Specific wound effects. Knockdown, not applicable. He's already knocked down. He's already prone, I should say. Reduce all movement by 2 meters per turn. So we can put a -2 to remind us that all movement is reduced by 2. Or we can come here and just take the 10 down to 8, the running down to 19, and so forth. Okay, 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And Elfman has been unalived. Good riddance.